So this is the wire harness that came out of the car. As you can see, all the blue tape that was holding the wires together has been peeled off, where people's been taking it off to rig the wires up. So what I did was I left some of the pigtail of the old wire harness. This is for the lights, so I can be able to tell where everything goes. Everything's kind of color coded, but it is kind of dirty looking. So this harness here, this goes to the transmission for the overdrive, and I think the reverse lights and stuff. So this harness stays. I just cut this little plug right here off and left it on there, because some of these wires are the same color, but some of them got female and male connectors. So this is the new harness. I got it ready to go in. What I did was I took some tape and wrapped it around the end of the harness, and I got it ready to go up under the dashboard all the way through, so it can go over to where the key switch and all your accessories is over there. And other than that, where this rubber grommet is right here, all that goes up under the dashboard, but on this side of the grommet it goes up under the hood. So pretty simple though. It's nice working with new wire harness. Everything's nice and clean. You can see the connectors and the colors. So anyway, I got to change one plug. They gave me a plug I got to change over for the door buzzer. I got to change a plug, which is it's a plastic one. I'll show you, just in case if you're replacing your wire harness in one of these. I was wondering why they had a plug zip tied to the bag. It was actually zip tied. Whoa! It was actually zip tied to the plug that goes to the buzzer. It comes with all the connectors in the bag. This square plug, where are you at? Right here. You got to take this plug off of here and put those new male connectors on, and then put that plastic plug on, because your door buzzer has a square plug on it, and this is the other end of it, well, rectangular square, but you got to remove that plug and put the newer style plug on it, which it is so much stuff laying around here. It's right there. See how it has a square, a rectangle tab sticking out with all your metal soldered on pieces. So you got to change that plug over. You got to put that plug, actually it's the other way around. You got to put the black plug onto the new harness, which it goes, that's not it. It's right here, I believe. I got it marked. Buzzer. So actually you got to put the black plug onto here. Take this off. It comes with the new female connectors that go into the black plug. So you got to take that off. If not, I'm thinking now, I might have to run up to the shop and get a newer style door buzzer that will just plug into. But I'll show you when I get it there. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to go ahead and get the harness set. That's something I can change after I get the harness in, because it sticks right out in the open. It's not a big deal, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and shove this wire harness in there, and I'll show you how the outcome is. Okay, so the new wire harness is installed and everything is connected. I haven't cranked it up yet. I'm waiting on the coolant reservoir bottle to dry. This is the original coolant reservoir bottle. It's made out of metal, and it has this bracket that holds it to the inner fender right over here where these two holes are. But what happened is they had this plastic one on there, this aftermarket one, and it was just leaking everywhere. It's cracked somewhere. So I went and got the original one, and everything is nicely wired up. You know, all your fuse links here, they just kind of hang out right there. Starter's wired up. Ignition coil. Got the fans wired up correctly. We got rid of all the bullcrap wiring down there. The brake switch is wired up, which I gotta rebuild the master cylinder, so I don't have that connection here hooked to anything. I do know the lights work. So we know we got lights. That's the lights that go to the heat controls. It's got all the marker lights. So you got the tail lights, the tag light. It's got the headlights. The horn never worked, so that works now. Somehow that was jacked up. I don't have any turn signals though. I gotta figure that out. I think I might have a bad turn signal flasher relay. So basically everything is in operational except I haven't cranked it to see. Oh well, I know I got 12 volts to the coil. I did check that. I do have 12 volts to the coil now, the correct way. No more jumping wires. So all the harness is nicely tucked up under the dash. I just repinned the harness for the door buzzer. It has that short harness I showed you guys. It came with the pins and this plug. And I looked at some of the other cars up at the shop up there where the other ones are, and they all have this same plug. So they send you this extra male plug here in a little baggie with these little male tips, and you just cut this off your old harness, and then you'll plug these wires into the connector here, and then they plug into this harness right here. So this will actually plug into that, and your buzzer, it's right under there. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. So then you'll connect there. Whether or not the buzzer works, I don't know. But like I say, everything is connected. So I'm going to get this connected, and then we'll be able to put the console back in and all that good stuff. And then we'll be able to fire it up and see, does the fans work. Now I know I did watch a video on someone testing the circuitry for the fans. If you take these two wires off and just jump across them, the fans should come on, and they did come on, both of them going in the right direction. So we know that's correct. So whether or not they come on when the temperature gets up there, that's a different story. So anyway, I'm going to work on getting that connector plugged in and everything, and then we'll crank it up. Now basically, when you plug this harness up to your new made up harness, I would recommend you put the little connector that they give you on first, and then all these wires are pretty much the same color on the new harness, so you just stick each pin with the wire on it and in the hole, so that way you can't mix them up. So we know right here this is red and white, so we'll look on here, we'll find red and white, we'll look in the hole, and because I think these are real hard to get back out of there, but I think there is a tool you can use to push them out. But we'll just stick that in there. Or I'll tell you what, let's just take that off, because we know that that is the back one. Whoop, see, I almost messed up then. Let's see. So this red and white, it's easy to get these mixed up. So we'll stick that down in there. It's in there nice and secure. You can see it sticking out. So it looks like the next one will be our yellow and purple. So we'll find yellow and purple. I guess you have to be careful not to let these touch each other too. So that's yellow. You got yellow and brown. It looks like yellow and purple. So put that there. Then we got purple and blue. You can kind of just follow yourself around with it. Was that purple and green? Man, my eyes are going bad. That's purple and green. So we'll hold it up like that. Purple and green. Then there's a purple. Then on the other side, there is a yellow and then a black. So it looks like the yellow, we'll just go ahead and plug that in. Looks like yellow. Is that yellow and brown? Yes. If you don't see that stripe, it looks like just a solid color. So that one's in, and then next to it is your black. So should have one empty. Just take it apart and make sure they're in there nice and tight, which they should be. Now we'll just go on in there and plug it to the buzzer. I can't reach it from over here. Let me go. Hard to plug up. Let's plug up. Let's turn the key on and see if we got any noise. No noise. Like I said, I don't know if that thing actually works. Might not work, but at least it's plugged up. Let's just bump the key and see what it do anything. I haven't tried to start it yet. It almost cranked. I don't have the fuel pump hooked up. So I guess that buzzer don't work. Like I say, I don't know. Really don't need it anyway. It's just a noise maker. But it's got connections to everything. I can look down the back of the plugs. See, it's all connected. That'll have to be something I have to take a look at. Like I said, I don't know if that thing even worked. I guess we can see if it's got any power to it. It was all plugged up in the beginning, but let's see if we got any power. Key on. There's no power going to it. I don't know what that's for. I really don't. But I have found a lot of stuff on this car kind of wakes up as you plug it up. Like some of the lights that hadn't been working. If I leave the key on for a minute with the switches on, everything kind of wake up. It's like the blower motor works. I don't know if you can hear it. Well, it was working. Well, it was working. It's like everything is kind of just frozen in time or something. Oh well, it's hooked up, so maybe it'll start working. I don't know. But anywho, I'm gonna just wait on that reservoir to dry, and then we'll get some coolant in it again and run it and see what the fan's gonna do. All right. So I got the carburetor off. Reason why you had to hold the choke closed with your hand to get the thing to run right. So I just went ahead and took it off and tore it all the way down, soaked it. I'm waiting on the carburetor kit to come. So I ordered a new kit for it. This diaphragm here, hard as a rock. You can hear it. So I soaked it for like 2 days. You can see it looks really clean. And now I'm going to soak the top part, take the needle and seat out and the filter, and I'm going to soak the top part while I'm waiting on the kit to come. And also, I got a new temp sensor for it. Now this goes in the radiator. It's for your fans to come on. This is your fan temp sensor. So it just plugs right into the radiator. So Lucas 542-215. Lucas Moss. So this is a MG part, straight from Victoria, British. So it's just a little sensor. It has the rubber grommet. Let's see if I can get it out of there without breaking it. Stuck in the box. Okay, there we go. Has a little rubber grommet that goes into the radiator, and then the sensor just slides right in. And your wires, which are here, you can either plug the wire in or you can put the connector that originally plugs to it, but it usually pops off, so I'm just going to plug the wire straight into it. And this tells the fans when to come on when the coolant gets up to temp. So then you have your temperature sender for your temperature gauge here. So anyway, just a little bit more progress on it. Waiting on the carburetor kit to come in. Hopefully it'll be here the next day or so. And we'll be able to fire this thing up and see how good it runs. And I got to start working on the master cylinder, so give you a preview of that. Now, while the carburetor is awaiting for the kit, I need to check out this master cylinder and make sure that I got the right rebuild kit for it. Looks like it takes some snap rings so we can pull this piston out. Have brake fluid everywhere. Let's see if I can get some snap ring pliers. Close to it. Snap ring pliers. Where you at? And they're probably in my other toolbox, as usual. So I had to go get them. So we got the almighty snap ring pliers. See if we can get this thing to pull out of here. If they hook up. I have to change it around the other way. Hopefully we got the right kit. But you know how it is. So she's gonna be stubborn. Probably gonna have to get it over in the vise. Have to get it over in the vise, and then, well, I won't have to hold it. I can get it out of there. Okay, so finally got the snap ring out. Now we can pull this out of here. See what we got. That is the plunger. Ooh, look at that. That is nasty. So I'm guessing this is a little plunger here that pushes the brake fluid. Looks like it should come off of there somehow. Let's get this thing cleaned up a little bit. Definitely was full of junk. So it looks like you got some kind of rubber plunger there, and then you got one here. It looks like to me this should come off of there if I don't destroy it. Should just peel right off of there. Like so. Just a little rubber. Goes on like that. Some kind of shim. Oh, that's all it is to that one. Then you got one here. It's a little bit. This one's gonna be tricky. Alright, there's that one. Now this one goes to the end that's actually at the end of the master cylinder. It looks like this is the one that was leaking. It was leaking brake fluid. So then, need to check in there. Make sure that that needs to be cleaned up. There's another plunger in there too. I see it. I need to come out of there. There it is. It's a spring. Is that something rubber? No, that's just a part that pushes. Thing's pretty nasty in there. A lot of trash. I don't see any rust. So I need to clean this up, but let's make sure we got the right kit, because if we don't, we have to get the right one. So we got the kit here. It's a MK1035 made by Ray Besto. Ain't looking too promising. I tried to look up the numbers myself, and it didn't cross over. And I looked in the manual, and couldn't really find out any information. If I can just get this stupid little bag open. There we go. Let's see, I think we might have a winner. This will be the end, I guess, that will go over the end of it, where the piston goes in. Oh, I don't know. Ain't looking too hot. I don't know what those rubbers are for. Got two small ones there. Unless it's some kind of universal kit. Now that looks like that might be the same. This is not the right kit. This one's actually bigger. Look like this might be the clutch master cylinder rebuild kit. That looks the same, which that goes to the front of the plunger or push rod. And you got these smaller ones here, but that don't amount to nothing to this one. So this is not the right kit. So I'm gonna have to get the right kit. Call my parts supplier and let them know what I found out, and get the right kit. So good thing I went ahead and tore it down now and checked it out. Might have to end up getting a whole other master cylinder if I can't get the right kit. But you know, that's how it is. They made so many different master cylinders to these cars, different years. Some of the same years I found out has different master cylinders. I could get the book and look in the book, and maybe that can tell me what kind of master cylinder this is. So let me get the book let's see, braking system. That one's showing a whole bunch of parts. Okay, here's a master cylinder here. This one is showing 2 springs and all of that. I don't know what that is. When we take that nut off, all that comes out. So we got number 19, number 18, then 19, which this one's only got 2 rubber plungers. And this one has 1, 2, 3, 4. So, I don't know if you can see that. That's a little bit different. That's all it's showing. Tandem master cylinder pressure differential warning. So this one is different than what we got. And this one is single brake master cylinder supply tank. That one's different. So going to have to do some research. Looks like the same reservoir. As far as the plungers here, that almost looks the same. So you got a bigger one there, you got the washer, you got that. But then they're showing all these springs here. It's like it's a double plunger setup. Tandem master cylinder. So tandem, that means it's got dual plungers and pistons. So I'm going to have to do some research on that, guys. Now this one's showing brake failure warning switch, which that ain't doing nothing. Alright, well, let me see if I can figure out what's going on with that. Maybe I can get a part number off this thing and we'll get back to it. Alright, it's parts reveal day for the MGB convertible. What we got here is the carburetor kit, and we got a new brake master cylinder. Let me get this open. We'll see what we got. Got the receipt. We won't need that. It says All-State Carburetor Fueling Industries. Serving our industries in 1969. Weber, Holly, Ellerbrock, Morso, Demon. So they do a lot of different stuff, a lot of different sponsors, I guess. So this is the carburetor kit for the 2-barrel Weber. Comes with all the instructions. There's your accelerator pump, diaphragm. I don't know what this does. Got all the O-rings, little gaskets, new needle and seat, and your base gasket and your gasket for in between the carb. So we got that. So we'll start putting that back together. No stickers. This right here is a master cylinder I picked up from my good old buddy, the MG Master. He had this on the shelf. It's from Carburetor. Is that a Carburetor Auto Products? This is a brand new master cylinder, and it has the brake pressure switch sensor or brake pressure sensor in the bottom of it. It's brand new, been on the shelf for a while. A little brake fluid in it. Hopefully it is brand new. Or that's just some kind of stuff they put in to keep it from rusting. Don't smell like brake fluid. But anyway, we couldn't find a rebuild kit for the master cylinder that was on the car. So I went ahead and just got a master cylinder from him. There's the part number. There's a 224-964 Pt.5 made in UK. So I'm not sure how long he had this. Actually, it's a Moss dual 77 on. So I guess this is a dual piston caliper. Probably what that rebuild kit I had went to, which I took back. But anyway, we got that. We got our carb rebuild kit, so we're ready to start putting the car back together, get it on the car, get it up, get it tuned in, make sure it runs good. Then we'll get some brakes on it. Now hopefully we can finally take this thing down the road, because I have put a lot of blood and sweat and tears in it as far as the engine, fuel system, wiring, cooling system. Now we're talking brakes. So hopefully the brakes, the wheel cylinders, and all that stuff is good. And so I'm going to get to work, and we'll get back on some updates. So our carburetor is freshly put back together with all the kit items. Like I say, some of these is not in the kit, but this is a good instruction of how the carburetor goes together, and you take it apart. This is a DGAV carburetor, 3236, and it's got your float level settings, and this just basically tells everything that's in the carburetor that's on this front sheet. So real good instructions. So now we're going to put the carburetor on, and then we'll try and crank it up and see how good she runs. Okay, we got the carburetor on, fuel lines hooked up. Notice I did put a pressure regulator on it to regulate it down to 3 pounds or 3 psi. So let's see what she do. She's totally cold. I haven't tried to start it. I gotta prime the carburetor bowl. Make sure it's in neutral. She primed up there quick. Not running as good as we was. My spring is sticking. Maybe I need to open this choke up a bit. My throttle spring is acting funny. I need to hold that choke open with something. But I really need to adjust it to where it will open up a little bit more. Let me see. I might be able to do it with some reason. Choke is staying closed on it, so it's kind of flooding out a little bit. That screw back there is really, it worked like it's supposed to. But that one screw, holding up the operation. Should have left it loose before I put the carburetor back on. Let me see, can I get a wrench to fit that? One, two. That makes it close, so we turn it. As far as we can go with it. For some reason, choke, it's got one of those heated chokes on it, and it's not opening up. I'm probably gonna have to just go ahead and just tie it open or something. Maybe we would stick something down in there to hold it. Just until we get it running. Now I see what it does. Make sure my spring is working right. Not running right. What's the deal here? We're getting enough fuel. I know I didn't mess with the spark plug wires. It's running like a banana stuck in the tailpipe. Wow. For some strange reason my key switch is sticking. Like I'm gonna have to spray some lube or something in it. I tell you, these cars can sit up and something go wrong in a matter of seconds. Might have to recheck the spark plugs. got this weird messy idle. Huh. Let me try and turn out on the air screw a little bit. Well, let's turn in on the air screw and see what happens. I would thought it won't run at all. Strange. I think the floats need to be adjusted, which I hate to say. Running real rich like it's loading up. So I'm almost betting I'm going to have to go back in and adjust on them floats a little bit, which I hate to do because now the carburetor's on there. I can tell it's running too rich. This is one right now. You want to take that throttle. definitely running too rich. So I'm gonna have to take the carburetor back apart and check the floats and see what happened. Is there a I need to adjust the float level, because it's just running too rich and it won't take any fuel, won't take any throttle, like it's getting too much gas. So let me sort that out, and then we'll get back to it. So I removed the carburetor top and I checked the float level. It did have a little bit too much gas in it because the gasket was all wet, but I did find out I had these in backwards. So can I get this one to come out? See where it has this hole here? Well, that's where your gas goes through to spray down in your ventry right here. Well, I had it in, both of them in backwards, and this hole was facing this side, which there's no inlet or outlet for the gas. So that's another problem. So now we'll put that back in, right? And what I'll do is put the carburetor top back on, and we'll see how it runs in or out. So let me get the carburetor top back on and we'll fire up again. Alright, guys, ready? Let's see what she do. Shakes like that. Maybe motor mount. But the fan to kick on. Yeah, I'm going to probably have to change the carburetor, I believe. Pretty hot. Our fan still haven't kicked on because we don't have any pressure here. I wonder, is it low on antifreeze? Probably need to change spark plugs. Actually, it's got antifreeze. Oh, I see, said the blind man. The thermostat has came apart. It's holding itself closed. Oh man, look at that. The middle of the thermostat just came apart. I'll show you. Once I find my light, which is somewhere. It's holding itself closed. You look down in there, you see that little bitty piece of copper right there? That is actually the the pin that goes through the thermostat plunger somehow then hopped out of the middle and is holding it closed. So I'm gonna have to fix that now. I tell you, this car here just don't want to get on the road. I don't know what it is. She's not as easy as our little GT. She's playing hard to get. So let me so can I get the thermostat straight? Well, folks, I finally got a thermostat straight. Temperature staying normal. The brake light's on because the brake pressure switch is not hooked up. So now we get the brakes going. We're going to get a brake booster. As soon as I hook it up, we really don't want to idle right. And that was the problem with the cabin. We didn't want to idle. And it had that real hard mist to it. That's because it had a bad vacuum loop. Okay, now we got the new brake master cylinder installed and the new brake booster. Reason being, the old brake booster, the diaphragm inside was bad, so it was causing the car not to run right. It had a vacuum leak, so now we got the new one installed and got the air breather installed. So now it's time to bleed the brakes. So I went ahead and bought me a new Mighty Vac brake bleeder. So we'll get these wheels off and we'll get the brakes bled and take this thing down the road. And then we'll get the hood on it and hopefully be wrapping this little project up pretty soon. So, gonna get at it. More brake fun. The rear brake hose that connects from each brake line to each brake line, I mean, it's busted. You can see the brake fluid dripping off of it. So now I got to get a rear brake line. It's collapsed. It won't let any fluid come out of the back wheels. I tried using the Mighty Vac to get it to suck the air out, and I started noticing the drip. Where the drip is, this brake line here, it's toast. right where it goes, right there. It's cracked. So I'm gonna have to get a new brake line for the rear now. I'll probably just go ahead and replace all of them. I got the fronts to work, but the backs is not. But I'm thinking if he's got all three, I'll just get all three. So back to the drawing board with the brakes. More MG goodies. So this is the rear brake hose that goes up under the bottom of the car over the rear end that connects to the two brake lines. There's actually a fitting that this screws in, and then that screws into it's like a valve, not a valve, but it's like a junction box. Then your metal lines tee off and go to each wheel cylinder. And I went ahead and grabbed a turn signal wiper switch, which the wiper switch comes off anyway. It's got 3 volts. This one's broken. And got a heater cable, a heat control cable, because where you switch it from defrost to vent, it's froze. And I went ahead and got 2 new front brake cables. I mean, not cables, but hoses. So I'm going to replace those too. So, more parts, more work, more to get this thing on the road. Gotta get busy now. Moving along to the inside of the car today. I got the radio reinstalled, all the console reinstalled, you know, where your heat and air controls are. Now I got the steering column, the covers off of it because of this windshield wiper switch here. It's broken. So, back to the parts department, and got a whole nother setup. Got the headlight with the horn button on it, and that is the windshield wiper switch. Now, in order to get this thing off completely, you have to take the steering wheel off, which I don't know if I'm going to take the steering wheel off. Actually, it goes this way around. It has these 3 screws right here, or 4 screws you can take loose. Where's it? 3. No, it's 3. You take those 3 screws, and this whole switch, windshield wiper switch, will come off that plate. I am having trouble out of the turn signals, so I'm going to hook this switch up and see if that makes the turn signals work. Wait a minute. Someone has cut some wires on this one. Look at that. So that ain't no good, I don't guess. Well, they just plug into it, I believe. Yeah, they just plug in. So maybe I ought to plug this switch up and see if that make the turn signals work. You can see that wire got pinched on something there. So, but I am going to put this windshield wiper switch. Then, of course, you see the hood back on. That means it's getting close to road time. So I had to do a lot of things. Like I said, I got the new brake master cylinder, brake booster, and I had to play with the timing some more and carburation. So go ahead and put the hood back on. We had a lot of rain here, and I was going to get it out and drive it yesterday, but it was just raining too bad, and the wipers didn't work, so I decided to hold off. Let's get the wipers working. There is some kind of rainstorm coming today, but it's not raining now. So maybe I can get the wipers working and take this thing out and test bin. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that switch on, and we'll try and get this thing out on the road. All right, boys and girls, taking her down the road. Sorry about that. Drop the camera. Seems to be running pretty good. These little cars, I don't like rough terrain. Now this one has the overdrive on it. Right now I'm in 4th gear. This was turn around. Got people wanting to come shooting down the street today. It'd be kind of hard to drive with one hand. Put it in overdrive. That's 4th gear. Okay, I'm gonna go to overdrive. And there's overdrive. I felt it kick in. The overdrive works. Man, this thing is faster than the other one. Woo! This thing will get it. Up to like, what, 50 almost? Gas gauge started working. Woo! Got somebody hot on my trail. I did get the turn signals to work. And the hazards are on. That's strange. I don't know what's up with that. Turn the turn signals on. Whoop, wrong gear. Well, when I had it sitting in the shop, you turn the turn signals on and they work, but now you turn the turn signals on, for some reason the hazards come on. That ain't good. Got good brakes. Pretty good though. Temperature staying normal. Gigantic pothole in the street. I gotta get used to these gears. They're so close together. It's like the gearing is closer together on this one than the 74. Those clouds are steady piling up though.
sweet. We got wipers, yes. A little bit more work on the turn signals though. Nice and quiet. I do hear my pipe rattling a little bit. I need to put another clamp on the tailpipe. Man, look at those clouds. So what I'm gonna do is take it on home and we'll get it out on another day. Just a quick update. I wanted to get it out and drive it. I haven't drove it at all. You know, we got storms coming in all day today, so it's kind of bouncy. I believe one of the tires might have a flat spot in it. Man, she is quiet too. That's reverse. So do I have to put it back and take it out of overdrive when I stop? I'm not sure on that. That's gonna be it for the little test run, folks. Just wanted to get it out and go around the neighborhood right quick, and we'll get back to it later after I get this thing back in the driveway. So here she is outside. That's the ugly duckling. Can't even hear the engine run on this thing. Still don't know why when you turn the turn signals on you get flashers. You have to check that flasher stat out. I might have it plugged up backwards, but I know when I didn't have the car running it wasn't doing that. But she's a runner. Sounds good. So anyway, like I said, gonna be more to come on both of them. Got some other stuff coming up, more projects, so y'all just stay tuned. Hope everybody is safe and continue to stay at home these last days of the quarantine for some cities. So I hope everybody just still practice social distancing even after the quarantine is up. I know the economy is going to have a slow start getting back to where it needs to be, and I know it's going to be a lot of folks that still going to be kind of, you know, leery of going places and being in crowds. I just hope everybody just thinks smart. This stuff is still out here. The virus is still out here, like I say, and everybody just got to play it safe, and like I say, keep your hands and stuff washed and things like that, and just use common sense. So anyway, we got clouds coming in again. So I'm gonna put this thing up and later.